conference, and that's why we're very pleased to continue the conversation with Arizona Congressman Matt Salmon. Matt, we really appreciate your time, and before we get to the maneuvers there within the House Republican Conference, let me ask you about the 17 states that filed a lawsuit yesterday in federal court challenging the action of the president, saying he violated his constitutional duty. 17 states, but Arizona not among those 17. Should Arizona have joined this lawsuit?
Absolutely. I think every state in the country, I believe, is going to have standing because they are the ones that are going to bear the brunt of much of the costs. Governmental costs of this decision, and so I absolutely believe Arizona should have joined that lausuit.
Now, representing your constituents from Arizona and a lot of people concerned from that border state and others, what about what Speaker Boehner wants to do? Take us through what he wants to do and what you see as the problem with
what he wants
plan.
to do is it's a funny name called a cromnibus, and that's a CR with an omnibus. And a CR, what they wanted to do was everything except that which might enact the president's illegal action would be funded by an omnibus through the September of next year. And then let's say the Department of Homeland Security and possibly other agencies that may have something to do with this illegal action by the president would be in a CR, continuing resolution, that would be through March. And my problem with it, I know there are a lot of people that are advocating for this, both on the right and the left. From what I understand, Harry Reid blessed it yesterday, which ought to make any of us suspect. But anyway, and I understand the president has said that he would sign that as well. The problem is, and I mentioned this in conference a couple days ago, in a few short weeks, we will all raise our hand to the square and swear to defend the Constitution against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. That oath is being broken if you vote to fund something that you believe is unconstitutional for 1 minute, much less 3 months.
Moreover, the 3 months, Matt, that gives all the amnesty backers a chance to say, well, it's already in place now and you're changing the policy. Are you concerned that once it starts down this road, suddenly there's a retrenchment by the open border advocates, including some in leadership, who are trying, it seems, to push through this de facto amnesty?
Yeah, I am, JD, and I think that by March the president could be well underway to issuing most of those green cards anyway, and so it'll be moot. I've heard them say, wait till the cavalry comes, we're going to fight another day. But the fact, is that day never comes. And JD, you and I, when we served in Congress, remember how much of the contract with America that we passed out of the House that went nowhere in the Senate because they couldn't get to 60? Well, they still have that problem. They still have to get to 60. We have a responsibility to do our job here and now. And the Founding Fathers gave the Congress the power of the purse for these very purposes, to be able to fight with the president when we disagree on policy matters.
A minute remains,
this is our
Matt.
responsibility.
1 minute remains. I don't want you to telegraph your punches, but I understand you've already been meeting this morning with some members of Congress and some members of the Senate. What's the next step you guys take?
Well, what I'd like to encourage everybody within the sound of my voice is to light up the phones, the switchboards here, because that's the one thing that politicians listen to, their voting constituents, and that is to tell them, do your constitutional duty, uphold your oath of office, and don't vote to fund something that you know is unconstitutional even for a day.
Well, Congressman Matt Salmon,
use the power of the purse as the Founding Fathers expected you to.
Congressman Matt Salmon, we appreciate your point of view and your time this morning. And you heard the appeal from Matt Salmon saying, get on the phone. The old saying is, when they feel the heat, they see the light. Matt says 1 minute of this funding would be unconstitutional. He wants to move to stop it. We're going to continue on America's Forum following this time out here on Newsmax TV.